Until now, finding the best video game system was a game you couldn't win. Who played the most games? Who played the best games? Intellivision 2. Add the new system changer and play all Atari 2600 games. The most games. The best games. Like Qbert. Enduro. Burger Time. Intellivision 2 has the most going for it. More games than Atari and Coleco. Over 430 games. Get Intellivision 2. It's got the most going for it.
How's it going, everybody? It's time for another great Mr. Poestyle video. And now, I already recorded this, thought I recorded this earlier today. And, you know, I do everything with the start from my watch here, and it was recording and showing fine. And I didn't look at it again. I did the whole video. And when I looked back at my watch when I went to end it, my watch just showed the time. Went into my phone and looked at the gallery, no new recordings. Went back to video to try to record again, and it said that my device was overheating, could not record now. It was pretty hot out here at the time. So that's a little disheartening. I did that whole thing. Anyway, let's do it again. This is about the Intellivision 2. I got one 6 months ago and still haven't hooked it up. Now, 10 years ago, when I was getting back into collecting, I wanted to get video game systems that I never owned before. So, along with already collecting for my 2600 NES, Super NES, started buying other systems. Too many at one time, actually. You know, the Sega CD, the 32X, the Odyssey 2, the Fairchild Channel F, the Dreamcast, the Saturn. Just all Intellivision, ColecoVision, TurboGrafx, bought all these systems and was getting all kind of games for them. So I was kind of sporadic, you know, spreading myself thin everywhere. Most of the time when I got Intellivision games, I would end up getting them in lots, you know. Sometimes with the overlays at least, but nothing really, not too many in box or anything like that, or instruction manuals. Some of them here and there, but mostly it was just a big pile of games. When I got the actual Intellivision, I got that off of shopgoodwill.com back then, all those years ago, and that's when it was still a pretty good auction site. You could get stuff for dirt cheap, and I want to say I got 2 Intellivisions, and they came in one original Intellivision box. There was 2 stuffed in there. I want to say that was around 30 bucks. And I also got my ColecoVision through there for dirt cheap at the time. So those are the Intellivisions I've used all these years. And I did have a few problems. I had to go back in and fix some stuff, you know, here and there. But when I knew that I was getting this one, and I was cleaning up my game room and putting away all the consoles, putting them away just until I wanted to use them again. Ones that I wasn't using a whole lot, like the GameCube, the Fairchild Channel F and stuff, just to declutter a little bit. I went ahead and put my Intellivisions away too. Not the games, but just the systems, because I thought, this one's coming, I'll hook it up. Well, like everything else, life, things happen, gaming gets away from you, work. My son came home finally after a year and a half in the military. He was on leave for a month in the summer. Just never got around to hooking this back up. Or hooking it up in the first place, I should say. So, let's do some Intellivision gaming once more. And I'll just show you what I got with this lot. I did get a really good deal with it. Now, I already had the voice module boxed for my other Intellivision, but this came in the set, in the lot, so why not? Set that aside there. And let's take a look at the system itself. I've never had an Intellivision 2, so that's cool. I know a lot of people don't really care for the controllers themselves, but here we go. And if it looks a little weird, that's because this is actually a dust cover on the thing, so pretty neat. Pretty neat little extras that are in this batch that I got here. But, you know, here's your controllers where they plug into. So pretty cool. And this one's already modded. See, my old one wasn't modded. So I actually, to to capture gameplay. I really went old school with it. I went through a VCR, and then from there I had an HDMI converter and would do it that way. But really good looking system. Of course, there's a little bit of yellowing aging. You can see the difference between the console itself and the controllers, hopefully. Intellivision 2. So that's really cool. Really nice. Like the little dust cover for it. I'll definitely use that. And then this also came with, of course, the power supply is here. They did, this is a little bonus I wasn't expecting. I already have one like this, but they gave me an HDMI converter. So I can go from composite to HDMI. Not the best way, I know, but good enough. And they even gave me a little power cord for it with the block. So yeah, nice little added bonus. Yeah, power supplies here. And I got one of these, I think only one of these. And I've never had this before, but I haven't heard great things about it. So, you know, you just put this on your controller and now it gives you a little suction cup joystick that sticks to your disc. So maybe I'll give it a try at some point, I don't know. Just kind of there. Again, another bonus. Now, this did come with a nice little bunch of games. Most of them boxed, so that's cool, because even though I do have a good bit of these games, I don't have that many boxed Intellivision games. So, you know, I do, like I said, have a lot of overlays for the games that I have. Some of them I have instructions, but I don't have boxes for most of them. Now, these are the ones that were just kind of loose. They do have the overlays. One of them does have an instruction manual. So this one is just poker, which, you know, I already own that anyway, but it has the overlays. It's poker. So just an added bonus. Again, just happy to get this. And then inside this other one, we have Slapshot, Super Pro Hockey, and World Championship Baseball with World Championship Baseball instruction manual and the overlays, both overlays for both games. So those are the loose games that I got with it. And now, here's the big fun. A nice carrying case here. Just loaded up with boxed games. So I don't know where I'm going to put them all with all the boxes. I have so many games for so many systems down there already. And you know, and there's no really reason for me to really display things down there since I'm the only one that's ever down there. But let's open this up, try to stack these in some way. And if I have anything going on the green screen, of course, anything green's gonna look kind of funny. That takes us to our first game, horse racing. So it's got horse racing, the gatefold box, and yeah, it's got the game. And we got the instruction manual. Really nice. And of course, got our little Intellivision catalog there. So, put this all back in here nice and neat. And I like that. Pretty cool. Like that the instructions are there. Just set this on my lap here, put these down. The second game I also already own, but I don't have the box, is Pitfall. And then you just slide this on out. There's the little tray, there's the overlays. Instruction manual is in the box. Pitfall cartridge, very nice. Yeah, I recorded this earlier today. It was very warm out, but at least the crickets weren't out yet. Now they're out. the Gaming Road Warrior calls them my audience. Well, that's, yeah, definitely. A lot of cricket sounds whenever my videos get uploaded. Frogger by Parker Brothers. I don't think that I had this one yet for Intellivision. And the cartridge is looking super, super good. We have our instruction manual and cartridge. So very nice. He has most of these. Any of them have overlays tucked in to the instruction manuals. I don't see them. Frogger might not have had overlays at all. I don't know. Could be missing. Next up, Block and Chase. Again, this is another one that I have loose. I won't open every single one of these now, but Armor Battle, I have that loose already as well. And just cool to have the boxes. And then, you know, they're definitely not perfect boxes. I've seen better days. Burger Time, I have that a couple times over on Intellivision. So now at least 3 times over. I got the box with it this time, so I didn't have that. I have the box for the ColecoVision version. Instructions, overlays, cartridge, everything is tucked in, I do believe. So, we'll just add another one. This is my favorite port of the game for any of the systems that I have, you know, aside from Arcade Original. I think it even plays better than the NES version. I just think that disc means everything in this game for me. I think this is my first Atari Soft game for the Intellivision, and that's Centipede, so that's cool. I didn't have that. So pretty neat to have that finally. Let's lay that down. Math Fun. I don't have this one. I think I had, what was the other one? Was it Word Fun? Word something I had loose from a retro game store that's no longer here anymore that I used to shop at frequently with my son. The Electric Company. Anybody that grew up in the 70s and early 80s. The Electric Company was awesome, man. It was even more kick butt than Sesame Street back then because it was like cool, man. It was groovy, you know. So really cool to have that. Even though I don't see it ever getting played. But there it is anyway. And you can play 2 players. Maybe when my son comes home on leave, instead of Mario Kart World, we'll play some Math Fun. How about it? Vectron, I don't believe I own this. I've heard many people talk about this game. So glad it's finally here in my possession. We got here Utopia. There's a favorite of Brian from Brian's Man Cave. Right? I think I have this loose, but now we have it here with everything, so that's good. Look at that purple. That purple pops, baby. So, you know, kind of like your SimCity before SimCity, right? Am I right? Am I wrong? Could be wrong. Skiing. Skiing is skiing. Well, sometimes games like that can be fun just to pass the time. Tennis. There's tennis. Dang. And we have Major League Baseball. So we had the Pro Baseball, Major League, what was it? They just made the other one later years after they didn't have the license for Major League Baseball, I believe is how the story goes. This is a favorite of Casey, the Intellivision gamer, and my good friend Off Grid Arcade from the show. Each have great channels, check them out, but they both love this game. Would love to see them play against each other someday. And I believe Casey gifted this to my other good friend, Mike the Gaming Road Warrior, back at PRGE last year or something like that. So Mike was going, Casey was going, I told them to hook up. Not hook up that way, that's gross. Meet up. I said, I'd like to have my 2 buddies meet each other. And they did. NBA basketball. Now that's cool. My daughter played a lot of basketball from junior high, even before junior high, through junior high all the way through high school until she graduated. Really good baller. And so we used to play the 2600 basketball. So maybe one day I'll have to tell her, well, let's give it a try here. Let's give it a try. Another thing I love to play with my daughter is baseball on the Fairchild Channel F. That's so much fun with that controller, the Channel F. You can do the curve ball and stuff. PGA Golf. There we go. I said I wasn't going to open all these. Really, the gatefold ones, there's nothing to open in them anyway, so why not? Space Armada. Pretty positive I have this one loose also. So now we got what's in the box and it looks like everything's there, so that's a good deal. It's a little beat up, but who cares? Really, the games were just a nice bonus because I was just looking to get that Intellivision too. So triple action. Now I don't know if I have this one loose. I have it now, but this one, I'm guessing it's still factory sealed. It's not open. It has shrink wrap of some sort. I don't know if that's factory or if that's somebody just shrink wrapped it themselves, but I mean, the box looks like it's been wrapped forever. There's no fading or scuff marks or anything on it, so there's that. But it's triple action. And finally, well, not finally, there's another one sitting here. Masters of the Universe. Now this is awesome because I already have it for the Intellivision loose. I believe I have the overlays also. And then of course the M-Network version for the Atari 2600. I have those, but I never had it boxed before. And I see these ones are so cool. It says bonus Masters of the Universe comic book inside. I've seen that several times in eBay listings or even YouTubers talking about it. And so, oh, sorry about that. I'm not having any luck trying to make this video at all. I accidentally hit a button, cut everything off. But what I was saying was, yeah, I never had this in the box before. I do have the game, like I said, for both 2600 and the Intellivision. Love this though, new super graphics, the power of, love having the box, even though it's not in the greatest of shape. Really cool. I absolutely loved this show and the comics when I was a kid. We even went to see the movie, me and my best friend Jeff, who unfortunately is no longer with us, but his mother took us to see the movie. And I do have that. My brother got that for me on DVD some years ago. So yeah, I just always loved He-Man. Had just a ton of the action figures, So yeah, I already have the cartridge, but here we go. We got the cartridge in the box. And got your instruction manual here. Really cool. Loving it, loving it. Yeah, open this up. Manual. Just super cool to have this. Now what I'm looking forward to, of course, is what it says on the box. Is bonus Masters of the Universe comic book inside. I've seen this, like I said, on YouTube and stuff like that. But there it is. Now I had this comic book several times over as a kid. When I started getting Masters of the Universe action figures is when they very first came out. I saw them at the store or whatever, and that first lineup I got for birthdays and Christmas of that year: He-Man, Skeletor, Man-at-Arms, Beast-Man. Got those ones first. Got Teela, and we got Merman and Battle Cat. And for my birthday, I can remember this distinctly, at a Hills, if you know what Hills department store was. My parents got me Castle Grayskull, and that was so awesome. I still remember that. They were at an appliance store. They bought it at Hills, and in the same plaza there was an appliance store. They were looking to buy something. I don't know if it was a freezer or a fridge or what it was. But that Castle Grayskull, and that's one of the only times they got me a gift that I knew ahead of time really what it was. That, you know, we walked into the store and bought it. It's sitting out there in our car, and we're in here while they're wheeling and dealing for a new appliance, and I was just going crazy. I wanted this Castle Grayskull so bad. I still remember too, they had Rambo playing at this appliance store on the TVs in the back. I don't know why I remember that, but yeah. Those were the original lineup, and they came with a couple different comic books. This was one of them. And only the difference is those early comic books with the Masters of the Universe toys were a little bit heavier. Heavier, like almost like a cardstock cover on the things. This is flimsy. This is more like the later releases of the Masters of the Universe. They got a little cheaper with it, you know, a little flimsier with it. But I even remember getting some Masters of the Universe comic books, bigger books, with really great art. From book orders from school in elementary school. But oh, and here's my overlays. Did come with the overlays. But yeah, love this one. And He-Man, in the beginning, he was a barbarian. There was no Prince Adam in this. The Queen and King of Eternia and all that stuff. Teela was a goddess in this. We didn't have the sorceress. Teela was the goddess in this. Man-at-Arms wasn't her father. Man-at-Arms was just Man-at-Arms. Might have confused kids later because why did Man-at-Arms not have a mustache? Well, that's the original figure, and in the stories he didn't. He wasn't Duncan. He was just a guard. Man-at-Arms, He-Man's buddy. He even says Master of Weapons. He-Man, most powerful man in the universe. Beast Man, Skeletor's brutal henchman, Skeletor, Lord of Destruction, Battle Cat, Fighting Tiger. There you go. Fortress of Power and Mystery is the Castle Grayskull. Yeah, I had this comic book. I think I still do. Most of my comic books I have. I had them in a big steamer trunk. Unfortunately, the action figures, I had a ton of action figures, and I actually started collecting more of these guys again later years. Really late years off of eBay and stuff like that for my kids because they got into it, and lost all of that stuff in my move in 2009 between my old house and here because we put up our house for sale. Somebody was interested in it, and the house that we had here wasn't ready to be closed on yet. The people here weren't ready, so we ended up moving into my wife's grandfather's farmhouse way out in the middle of the woods in the country, way out, for like 2 months that year. So I put everything in storage until we were able to close on the house we're in now. And I moved all that stuff myself on work nights or work days, you know, after or before work into the new house. There's the train. So thought I had everything, and somehow all of those action figures I also had those in a big steamer trunk and a cooler where they were stored, and they all just disappeared. So, but anyway, yeah, long story that has nothing to do with anything, I guess. I'm just telling you about my love for Masters of the Universe, and I didn't have the Atari game as a kid. I didn't have it on television, so I didn't have this. But, you know, you have them now. Just great to see that the little comic that came with this is here. I'll have to look in my trunk and see if I still have all those little comics. As all of my real comics that I bought at the store, Iron Man and especially Spider-Man and stuff, I have all of those. But all of my Nintendo Powers and Nintendo Fun Club magazines and Mad magazines and Crack magazines, I had those in a separate box. And that disappeared too. So don't have those anymore, which really stinks. I had every Fun Club magazine and all of the first so many years of Nintendo Power there, so sad to lose those. But yeah, that's the game. Those are the games from the original library that I got. One other game here, and so I got to keep checking to make sure I didn't turn anything off. This recording has been a nightmare so far. I did get a homebrew game with this. Didn't realize I was going to get it. And that is Pumpkin Trilogy. Bunch of mini games. Mike's Gaming Gala told me that there is a new one, Pumpkin Trilogy 2, coming out very soon. So that's really cool. But wasn't expecting that. So very glad to have it, to get it. And our overlays and everything, you know. Oof. Instruction manual. So really cool. And then let's pull out the cartridge. See, and that cartridge actually looks like an Activision cartridge on the thing. So that's really a nice bonus too. A lot of the stuff was a nice bonus. I mean, when I looked over the listing, I just didn't see all of the stuff. I knew I wanted the modded Intellivision 2. And I saw that there were some cool games. I didn't see all of them on the listing. So that is really sweet. Now, get this finally into the house. Get it into the game room and get it hooked up and start playing some stuff here. It's about time. And, you know, ahead of time, through OG Hugo, I did get the Pi Artia right turn only that I can put a bunch of game ROMs on here. I've had this sitting here for months. It's still sealed. Also from OG Hugo, I got his little gamepad for the Intellivision, and I got it in the color of the Intellivision too. And finally, this other sweet controller I got here was through Casey, the Intellivision gamer. He had worked something out with, or the Master MIB from Brazil, I believe, the Intellivision Touch controller. So he was able to ask people, you know, how many people were interested in getting this. And he was able to get them in, a bunch of them in, and from the orders that he got, that way it would be cheaper to get them in that way. And it's just a really cool controller for your Intellivision. I don't know why I picked brown. He asked us what color. If I remember, I'll put a picture up of the colors that were available at the time. I actually, since I knew I was going to get this for the Intellivision 2, I should have got the white or cream, whatever that color is. But this thing has, I turned it on briefly a little bit ago. It comes with instructions, but when you first turn it on, it's not in English. But you're going to have to plug in a power cord. And once you do, it's just going to power right up. So I don't know if you can see that with the lighting and everything in here. We power up, and there we go. This thing already has like 199 overlays that they put on it. Also in their instructions, they give you the site to go to, the page to go to find more overlays with what they have there. But first it gives you just, you know, your button mapping. And then if you click this twice, I was already playing with it here a little bit ago after my video cut off and wasn't working. That'll bring up your menu, and you're going to have to go down to the third from last setting and change it to English if you want to understand anything, unless, you know, you speak Spanish. So, but yeah, it goes to overlay selection on this thing. Click on it, and it says there's 199 available. So they have the original library plus a bunch of homebrews. Not every single thing, of course, but a lot of the stuff that I was looking for, it changed on me here, so I don't know. The overlay selection, and I have a whole stack of I have a whole stack of homebrews sitting around that the Intellivision gamer made me aware of. Anytime Rev has them for sale on his eBay site. So I have a whole stack of games just sitting there that I need to get to. So you can go through this list and see what they have. And one of the games that I got is the new Frankenstein's Monster homebrew. There's E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I have that homebrew as well. It's already on here, which is really cool. And then, of course, your original library. You've got Dig Dug and Diner and stuff like that on Dracula, Dragonfire, Happy Trails. Heli is another great. Heli and Intellivision was another game that I bought those in 2021 when they first came out. I remember getting those. It was on the same day that we went on strike. They showed up in the mail. So if I click on Heli, it's going to bring up the overlay right there on the screen for Heli. You know, which is awesome. I still have the plastic on there, so I don't know if it's hard to see. We'll just whip that right off of there. Double click twice again on the thumbstick. Overlay selection. Click the button. But whatever you can think of, it should be on here. Now, I didn't see some of the newer ones, like Brian from Brian's Man Cave made Food Fight, but Fast Food is on here. So Fast Food was here, but Food Fight not. So you might be missing some. I'm sure you'll probably find them eventually on that site. I don't know if you can make them yourself and put them on there. I didn't go through all the instructions. Just showing what I have here that I can't wait to use with my new Intellivision 2. Yeah, really cool. Really cool little device. In the original library games that are just sitting here. We'll go with one of my favorites for the 2600. Atlantis. You got your side buttons, and instead of a disc you got a thumbstick down there, so I like it. I love it. I want some more of it, and there are some settings on here that you can make it brighter or dimmer or whatever you want there. I guess maybe we'll do that in another video, go over this thing if I ever get a chance to do all that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying all this stuff out, especially these controllers and the homebrews that I've had sitting here that, you know, I ordered them all, and but I put my other Intellivision away, so I just wasn't playing them. Now it's time to get back to playing them. So we'll try to pepper these games in and out, especially the homebrew games. Coming soon, we'll say, but I also want to try to concentrate on a few spooky Halloween type games since we're getting that close to October. We're almost there. So alright guys, that's it. I think I finally recorded everything I want to do on this video. Actually, a little too far now. I want to thank you for joining me for another great Mr. Poestyle video. Let me know what you think down below. What do you think of Intellivision? OG Hugo will send you a little blow pop in with your controller. Yeah boy. And I hope to see you on the next one. That's right. That's a wrap. Holy mackerel, what a pain this has been.
Joystick in hand, eyes on the screen, Mr. Poestyle, an arcade machine. Blips and bloops, a symphony of sound. High scores calling another round. From Atari joysticks and television's keys, he conquered consoles with such ease. ColecoVision's wonders, he knew them all. Master of pixels standing tall. Poestyle, the arcade king.
Oh, Nacho. Come here, Nacho. No biting. No biting. No biting. No, Nacho, stop.